Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and today we're going to talk about buying cars on a tight budget. Okay, so if you don't know, I have been away from really the internet for a while because we had the big sick. And we're fine now. Everybody's good. You know, praise the Lord, we didn't have any major hospitalizations or anything. It just took some time to get over it. And so, but we're back, and I had some footage that I wanted to share with you because I was going back through all of the videos that I'd done and before we got sick, and I hadn't had a chance to edit it. And one of the videos that I had that I really wanted to make sure that we talked about was that we bought a car. We bought a car right before I got sick, and it was a good thing because it was good to have the vehicles and make sure that, you know, if anybody needed anything, we weren't left stranded, and it was a good thing. Not that we were going anywhere, but anyway, but it was a good thing that it was all taken care of before we got sick, and it was done, and we have the vehicles and everything's great. But I actually think it's really neat, and what this video does is it tells you our process of buying a video with a tight budget, and how we do it within our family. And so I'm going to show you the car. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we do that budget shopping for a car, and I even talk about a house, and I hope it's helpful to you, because I think this is the time of year that people start thinking, you know, in the spring about buying a house and buying, you know, major purchases, usually with tax time, and maybe it'll help you to be able to buy something at a reasonable price, save a little money, and put yourself in a better financial position. So anyway, all right, well, with that being said, here you go. Here's our new car, new to us car, and how we purchase things on a budget. Okay, so there's another thing that I wanted to show you guys, and that is that we bought a new car. Now, if you've been with us a while, you know we've had a lot of cars in this house over the years, but that's because we've had a lot of people who were driving over the years. So Brianna, of course, left, and her car being here a lot was kind of like a spare car for us. And now that she's gone, we didn't want to just have one car, just because we thought that's, you know, we wanted to be more safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, safe. So we decided to go ahead and purchase something. And when we buy cars, we usually buy them in cash. And that's just because I don't like having any debt whatsoever. And but since it was just Rick and I now, we considered buying something, you know, nicer, used car, and like just putting a down payment and paying payments just to have something nicer. So I had looked at this car, not this car that we bought, but another car, and it was a Chrysler 200 that we found, and it was at a place that we trusted, and we had seen it, and we normally buy cars only from certain places that we know and trust, because I don't know, we're just iffy about other places, particularly when it comes to used cars. So anyway, so but this car, because Rick wanted a car, it's mainly gonna be Rick's car, it was like, it had like 150,000 miles, and they wanted like $9,000 for it. Now, if you're not out shopping for used cars, you may not know, right now the prices are a little crazy. First of all, it was a lot more miles than I wanted. Second of all, I was not paying $9,000 for a car that had almost 150,000 miles on it. I just wasn't feeling that. So I went to another place that I have bought cars from in the past and trusted, and we found another exact same car, Chrysler 200, and it had 93,000 miles, and if you paid cash, it was only $3,900. Sold. So I'm going to show you what we got, and you can see what it looks like. It's actually very nice, particularly considering how much it cost. Okay, let's go look at the car. And there she is. Cutie pie. Chrysler 200M. Let me go look at it. So look, here we go. So here's a side view. And I mean, it's just a car. I mean, it's a little bit dirty, but I mean, nothing crazy. Oh, let me unlock it. Oh. And inside is actually very clean. You guys can see all of that. And don't know why that's blinking there. It's not blinking in real life, it's just blinking on camera, but I guess that's just when you film something. But I hit 94,000 miles yesterday when I was driving it. But she's nice and clean. Let me show you the back. And again, back seat. Nothing like crazy spectacular. I'll tell you what Rick likes. Rick likes how the tires look, which I mean, what do I know about cars? I know literally nothing about cars. But he thinks they look nice, and he likes the whole look of it. So I mean, that's just what he likes. So here's the thing about how we buy cars, which I think might be a little interesting, is that like this car is going to be for Rick, right? He didn't even look at it. He sent me out with a budget, and he said, find something decent with a decent amount of miles, and you know, he did tell me, don't buy anything unless you talk to me first. And that was that. So I had to go out and look around and try to find something that was a decent, because he's not picky. He's not like, it's got to look like this, it's got to be this car, which I really appreciate. And I think that's part of the reason that we're able to stay on budget the way that we do, is because neither one of us is really picky about certain things. It's just things that have to do with value are the things that we think are important. I'm like stepping on cat food. Anyway, so he cared about the value, but he didn't care about how it looked. My hair is getting in my face. So again, he said, find something in the price range with a decent amount of miles that looks clean and nice and it's good from a reputable place. I'm looking at cats at my feet. And that was it. That was my only instruction. So I found a couple of vehicles. I sent him pictures, and I kind of narrowed it down. I'm gonna go inside so I don't have cats on me anymore. I kind of narrowed it down to the one car that I thought was the best deal, that I thought was going to last the longest, be something that he would like. I sent it to him. I sent him a picture, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little tiny dent on it. And I sent him this picture thinking it looked really nice, and he zoomed in on the dent and sent it to me, and he's like, there's a dent. I was like, well babe, it's $3,900. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So anyway, so he ended up saying, you know, all right, well, just get that one. So I ended up spending the afternoon like purchasing it, going and get the insurance and tags, make sure it was all done. And it was done in an afternoon. So by the time I got home, well, actually he got off work, I went and picked him up. We dropped off Brianna's car. We drove directly to the dealer place, and then I think he drove the van and I drove the car. So he has, to this moment actually, he has not driven it yet. It's going to be his car. He's only seen it in the dark. So I think it's pretty neat about my husband, I have to say, because he's not like super controlling about like how everything has to be. I always kind of joke that he's like the CEO of the company, and he just gives me parameters of things that he wants done, and he's like, here you go, do it. And I always have to check in with him about all of it, but I mean, he's so not like has to be in every detail. And I think that that's good. Like, I think that's why, like I said, we can function and function well. It was actually the same thing with this house. It was kind of the same thing with this house. I found this house online. If you don't know the story of our house, I found it online as a foreclosure. I showed him a picture. We were looking at houses in a certain budget of a certain size, and he wanted it to be a certain value, and so it came down to it. And I was like, well, how about this one? He's like, I don't know, we'll have to go see it. So we drove by it. When we drove by it, he was like, there's the one. We hadn't even walked through it yet. There was nothing major about it. You know, it was still like, he still wanted to make sure everything was okay with it, but it was what we were looking for. It was reasonably priced, and so he did not obsess about the details. He's like, yep, that's it, take care of it, get all the paperwork done. So then I go out and start filling out all the paperwork and getting everything together, and then he just shows up to sign. And so that's how we do a lot of major things in our household. But you know, it works for us, and there's that. But I gotta say, I just really appreciate that he's not picky about every little detail, that he can, you know, he's just satisfied with, you know, what we end up getting. But I think what ends up happening though, because he is okay with that, is, you know, we have nice vehicles, we have a nice house, and, you know, the vehicles are paid for, the mortgage is low, and we can live well on the budget because he's not particular. So anyway, that's just a little thing that we have going on. Okay, well, there you go. I hope that was helpful to you, and I hope that it encourages you that you don't have to be super specific when you're out looking for something. You don't have to pick like the type of car you're looking for. You don't have to pick a certain color. Just pick a budget, pick a mileage, pick a dealer, pick some things that are important in terms of the value if you're looking for a car, and those things will help you guide to something that's a good value for you that should last you a while. And if you don't have to be picky about how it looks, then you can actually have something that's solid, that'll serve your family for quite a long time and save you a lot of money. So anyway, you all have a good day. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.